Mesothelioma law. Understanding legal aspects and compensation for asbestos-related diseases. Introduction. Mesothelioma is a rare and aggressive form of cancer caused primarily by exposure to asbestos, a fibrous mineral used in various industries for decades. This deadly disease affects the lining of the lungs, abdomen, heart, and in rare cases, the testicles. Due to its long latency period, mesothelioma often manifests years or even decades after asbestos exposure, making its diagnosis challenging and prognosis grim. As a result, individuals diagnosed with mesothelioma and their families face significant physical, emotional, and financial burdens. This comprehensive article delves into the world of mesothelioma law, exploring the history of asbestos use, the legal ramifications, and the rights and remedies available to victims and their loved ones. Over the course of 5,000 words, we will cover various aspects, including 1. Asbestos and its history. 2. Mesothelioma and its causes. 3. Legal recourse for mesothelioma victims. 4. Asbestos litigation, past and present. 5. Mesothelioma settlements and compensations. 6. Statutes of limitations and deadlines. 7. The role of mesothelioma lawyers. 8. Asbestos bankruptcy trusts. 9. Asbestos regulations and safety measures. 10. The future of mesothelioma law. Section 1. Asbestos and its history. Asbestos, a naturally occurring mineral, has a long history of human use due to its versatility and fire-resistant properties. Ancient civilizations utilized asbestos for building materials, textiles, and pottery. However, it was during the Industrial Revolution that asbestos gained widespread industrial and commercial applications. It was incorporated into construction materials, shipbuilding, automotive parts, and insulation, among other products. Section 2. Mesothelioma and its causes. Mesothelioma is a particularly aggressive and deadly cancer, primarily caused by inhaling or ingesting asbestos fibers. When asbestos-containing materials are disturbed, such as during construction, demolition, or repair work, tiny asbestos fibers can become airborne. Once inhaled or swallowed, these fibers can lodge in the mesothelial tissue, leading to inflammation, cellular damage, and eventually cancerous growth. Section 3. Legal recourse for mesothelioma victims. The link between asbestos exposure and mesothelioma became evident in the mid-20th century. As more cases of mesothelioma and other asbestos-related diseases emerged, victims and their families sought legal recourse against the companies responsible for their exposure. Filing a mesothelioma lawsuit can provide financial compensation to cover medical expenses, lost wages, pain and suffering, and other damages. Section 4. Asbestos litigation, past and present. The history of asbestos litigation is complex and evolving. In the early days of asbestos-related lawsuits, plaintiffs faced significant challenges in proving causation and establishing liability. However, landmark cases and scientific advancements bolstered the evidence connecting asbestos exposure to mesothelioma, leading to a surge in lawsuits against asbestos manufacturers and employers. Section 5. Mesothelioma settlements and compensations. Over time, many companies facing mesothelioma lawsuits opted to settle rather than go through prolonged and costly trials. Settlements provide a faster resolution for victims and their families and can result in substantial compensation. The amount of compensation varies based on factors such as the extent of the victim's suffering, financial losses, and the degree of the company's negligence. Section 6. Statutes of limitations and deadlines. Mesothelioma cases are subject to statutes of limitations, which vary by state. These laws determine the time frame within which a victim must file a lawsuit after their diagnosis or the death of a loved one. Missing the deadline can result in losing the right to pursue legal action, so it is crucial for victims to seek legal counsel promptly. Section 7. The role of mesothelioma lawyers. Mesothelioma cases are highly complex, involving extensive medical and legal knowledge. Mesothelioma lawyers are experienced professionals who specialize in handling asbestos-related cases. They help victims navigate the legal process, gather evidence, and represent their interests in negotiations or court proceedings. Having a skilled mesothelioma lawyer is essential for maximizing compensation and ensuring justice. Section 8. Asbestos bankruptcy trusts. As the number of asbestos-related lawsuits increased, several asbestos manufacturers and companies filed for bankruptcy to shield themselves from liabilities. As a result, bankruptcy trusts were established to compensate current and future mesothelioma victims. These trusts hold funds set aside to compensate claimants, and victims can file claims against them even if the responsible company is bankrupt. Section 9. Asbestos regulations and safety measures.